Catherine and William, can they actually save this major event which is happening next week? And it truly is a real royal event. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely as ever to have your company. And of course, I hope you're keeping well. Thank you for all your comments on all the latest videos that we've posted. So glad that you're enjoying them all and you like the fact that we're bringing you all the exclusives first. A lot of people, I must tell you also, have been telling me how certain newspapers around the world and periodicals have been lifting the stories as their own. Remember, if you want all the exclusive royal entertainment and political gossip and news first, then keep it here. It's as simple as that. But back as ever to your major royal story today. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited because in about a week's time, I've been invited to a very major royal event. And it's at one of my all-time favourite venues here in London. It's a very wonderful and special Royal Albert Hall. Now, we were down there a few weeks ago, if you remember, filming for you. And this particular hall now is over 150 years old. It's celebrating that this particular year. But when you go in, it's just magnificent. Many major events have been there, as you can imagine, over the years. Some, of course, we don't even know about because not everything was simply recorded. But next Tuesday, let me tell you, a big royal event, because finally we can tell you that it will be the world premiere of the latest James Bond film. Now, James Bond is special to so many people. Every generation loves Bond. I've been lucky enough to interview so many Bonds in my time. In fact, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig, the current Bond, and of course the late and wonderful Sir Roger Moore, who was just marvellous. And let's not forget, of course, we recently lost the originator of that role, which was Sir Sean Connery. Don't know if you know this, but originally, well, you know, it's hard to imagine these people now, but people like Gregory Peck and Rex Harrison were down for the role, but apparently the bosses didn't think they were, well, sellable enough. I really don't believe that. What I truly believe is that Bond bosses thought they were too expensive, hence the reason the much cheaper Sean Connery came on board and of course made the role his own. But back to next week, we can tell you that Catherine, William, and of course His Royal Highness Prince Charles, alongside Camilla, will be attending that big Bond premiere. Now, a lot of people want to know, well, why is it such a huge royal turnout? I can tell you first as ever here on the show. There's a big problem actually for the Bond franchise and for cinema in general, and this is the reason why we have such amazing royal turnout for this event. Not only are, of course, the Bond franchise big favourites with our British royals, let's not forget, of course, Her Majesty the Queen was a Bond girl herself, albeit for a short period when she celebrated that special occasion a few years back now. Didn't you just love it? Didn't it just show a real sense of fun? And I did ask Daniel Craig, was he nervous actually acting alongside Her Majesty? And he said he had to detach himself because he couldn't quite believe what was happening. He said he's done many things as Bond, but that was a particular surreal moment. But here, as I say, is the reason why all major royals are out in force. All cinemas around the world have had such a massive decline of impact since, of course, COVID-19. And what it's hoping really is to send a message out to the world that cinema is back, open, and they're looking for support. Now, of late, of course, cinema has lost out onto the likes of the big streaming giants like Netflix and Spotify and all of those other things that are vying for our attention on a daily basis. But there's nothing quite like a night at the flicks, particularly if it's an amazing film. Now, you may have also heard that Prince George would like to attend this particular movie, but sadly it's just out of his age reach, and apparently, although he's a bit of a James Bond fan himself, his mum won't allow him to stay up that late on a school night. As I say, I will be there. I'll bring you all the behind the scenes gossip and of course what the royals truly thought to Daniel Craig's apparent last outing as James Bond. But as I say, basically the royals in attendance mean one thing. They're sending a message out to the world that says, do come and support cinema, not just British cinema, but cinema around the world. Neil Sean in the heart of London.